Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to today's episode of Rotten Cassava Nollywood Movie Ratings. And today we'll be talking about the top 10 Nollywood villains in mainstream Nollywood movies. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy our countdown show. At number 10, we have Prince Aderopo, played by Demola Adedoye in the movie October 1st. In this movie, Prince Aderopo was a serial killer, and he was actually hiding in plain sight, and it took the efforts of one of the best inspectors in the police force to bring him down. But before he was discovered, he had perpetrated a lot of crimes, and he had caused a lot of havoc and calamity in the whole community. Prince Aderopo was mean, he was fearsome, and he was also gruesome and brutal as well. And that's what earned him his place at the number 10 spot in our countdown list today. Do not be fooled by the looks of this next villain, as he is the devil's incarnate himself. Femi, played by Ramsey Noah in the movie Figurine, was the incarnate and the perpetrator of the crimes of the goddess of Aroremire, who would promise her victim 7 years of prosperity and after that 7 years of suffering. Propelled by jealousy because he couldn't get the girl, of course, Femi then mischievously came up with some gruesome plans that left the whole place like a slaughterhouse at the end of the movie. If you haven't seen The Figurine, go watch it today, stream it on Netflix or any streaming platform, and watch how Femi was very devastating in this movie. Plus, it's a really decent movie to watch too.
Now pray we go pray. Send me this bus. May carry us safely reach our destination.
I'm not sure Shola Shobowole's Ifoma's character in the movie Sully was talking about the same destination that the passengers were heading to. Disguised among the passengers like your regular Catholic lady, Ifoma was actually the leader of a human organ trafficking organization. After many failed attempts to stop the bus and rob the passengers of what they were actually looking for in the briefcase, Ifoma then had to improvise by asking for a bathroom break to take her to a lair where she actually unleashed all havoc. Solo is a pretty decent movie, and if you haven't seen it, go see it now. It's currently streaming on Netflix. So go get yourself a good movie, right? At number 7, we got ourselves everybody's favorite mute brute, Uncle B, played by Ramsey Noah again in the movie Blood Sisters. Uncle B was the perfect henchman to their Ademolas, and he was the one to carry out all their evil deeds. And boy oh boy, you know he was good at it, because anytime he was out for the girls, we knew he was in for business. And unlike most villains in most Nigerian movies, Uncle B was actually successful with his tasks with bringing in the girls to their Ademolas. Truth be told, he didn't really have a classic ending, but he still made it to number 7 on our list of top 10 scariest Nollywood villains. In the number 6 of our countdown list, we have Nneka the Pretty Serpent, played by Idia Asen. As a child, Nneka had witnessed the murder of her parents by some men, and she grew up with that hatred and bitterness in her heart. But thankfully, when she was 32 years old, she was actually possessed by the spirit of the serpent. After she was possessed by the spirit of the serpent, she was then introduced to the Queen Mother, who mentored her and guided her through her revenge actions. With her newfound mystic powers, she then became an assassin from the underworld, helping her and her colleagues from the underworld to avenge the human race for destroying their kingdom. Nneka herself was terrifying, although she got a somewhat happy ending, but somewhere along the line, I guess the viewers will be wondering, where will this evil vermin be taken out of this world? She was well equipped with mind control and telekinetic powers, and also evil fangs. Nneka was truly a pretty serpent. And to add to it, as if she wasn't terrifying enough, this movie had this very creepy theme music, which you can hear in the background here. Nneka is currently streaming on Netflix, so you can log on to Netflix and stream this movie as well. At At number 5, we have Ageshikole, played by Femi Adebayo in the movie King of Thieves. I mean, look at this character. Do I even really have to say anything? Ageshikole looked like evil himself. In fact, he was evil himself, and he was actually the king of thieves. He tormented the whole village. He brought the king to his knees. Ageshikole was fear himself. He had the looks, he had the swagger, he had the charisma, and he had the fear factor all by himself. And that's why he's number 5 in our list of scariest Nollywood villains. King of Thieves is now streaming on Amazon Prime, so go watch yourself a badass movie. At number 4, we have Makanaki, played by Reminisce in the movie King of Boys 1 and 2. Makanaki showed most of his stuff in part 1, but he ended up being killed by Odogu Malay. And what made this character badass is that we got to see a little bit of the background story of this character, of how he was just a henchman at the bottom of the table, and he didn't just want to be part of the table. At this point, he wanted to be the head of the table. During his return in the sequel of the original movie King of Boys, The Return of the King, Makanaki showed up with his henchman, a very dangerous and pretty ninja lady who was so gruesome and bloody and gory and also merciless. She killed with a sword kind of thing that was looking like a spear, but she was a badass ninja. And if you haven't seen King of Boys 1 and 2, maybe you are just one of those people allergic to peer pressure, give in to the peer pressure and watch this movie, guys. It's a pretty awesome movie. At number 3, Uzomaka Onoha, who played Chidinma or Diche in the movie Diche, has given us more than one reasons why we should fear women. This character is the first character in the list that is both the villain and the victim. Chidinma had been trapped in the underworld for a very long time, waiting for her turn to take possession of the body of Diche. And when she finally got the opportunity, she wreaked havoc everywhere. She had watched behind closed doors, so you know that for years she had been planning all her evil deeds. And of course, when she came out, she executed it so perfectly well. Chidinma or Diche was so deceitful, even to the viewers themselves. We watched this movie not knowing what she was capable of. We saw her turn from teary to this evil green all through the movie. You need to watch this movie, guys. It's a pretty decent one. At number 2, we have Scar, played by Chidi Mokeme in the movie Shantytown. Scar was a very gruesome character. Even from his looks, he looked very scary, and he had a scar on his face. Well, obviously the name Scar, but Scar was a bully. He was a pimp. Although he made it to number 2 on the list, but not all characters in the movie were actually afraid of him. Scar, despite the fact that he wasn't like the top boss and wasn't among the top echelons, was everybody's top henchman. And yes, he was ridiculed sometimes by the big boys in the movie, but Scar still had his way of putting the fear factor in the viewers. So with all this, I put him in number 2 of my list of top 10 scariest Nollywood villains. Well, I guess everybody will agree with me. I mean, what would this list be without Scar on it?
Oh, look at this starboy on side. Mr. Richard. Yeah.
So at the top of our list is Richard Williams, played by Ramsey Noah in the movie Living in Bondage, and he also had cameo appearances in Nneka the Pretty Serpent and Rattlesnake. This is Ramsey Noah's third entry into our list, so you know he's very good at playing the evil character in mainstream Nollywood movies. Now let's talk about Richard Williams. Richard Williams is not the incarnate of the devil, but he was described to be the devil himself. He was the leader of a foreign satanic occult group known as the Brotherhood of the Six. And as the leader of this satanic group, he was charged with bringing in new members and also taxing the members to bringing in blood sacrifices to give them wealth, and they also have to renew their oath and covenant with the Dark Lord once in a while. Richard Williams' character was rich and powerful, and by powerful I don't just mean money and power from politics. I mean he actually had telekinetic powers. It's also important to note that from the story so far, Richard Williams is yet to be defeated. We are even expecting his return in the part 2 of Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. I mean, listen to this guy, guys. He is pure evil.
I snap your necks. When you take, you give. It's the order of things. This is no fucking game. Clock is ticking. Tick, tock. Tick, tock.
What have you done? Nothing!
Leave me alone! Are you ready to get your key? What key, sir? Key to the good life.